Hey, this is Jay from Bedouin Soundclash, and you are listening to The Leak in Review.
Now forget everything that you thought you knew from the shed of dreams, the leak in review.
Hey, welcome back to the program. Thanks for the tune-in. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the shares. If you haven't already done so, hit subscribe. So every time we do another episode, you get it right into your feed automatically. No searching, no digging. It's perfect. Jay Malinowski returns to The Leak in Review. We talk more about the new release from Jay Malinowski, or just Malinowski, under a Landslide of Stars. Talk about some Bedouin dates that are coming up, and just share some back and forth talking about our pal Cone from Sum 41. Jay Malinowski is coming up on The Leak in Review.
Hi, my name is Kim Stockwood. I am a proud Newfoundlander and a Canadian singer-songwriter. In a landscape where many lack access to health benefits or employee assistance programs, the Unison Fund serves as a lifeline of hope for musicians and music industry professionals facing medical emergencies or mental health challenges. To learn more about Unison and their programs, please visit unisonfund.ca.
Hey, this is Jay from Bedouin Soundclash, and you are listening to The Leak in Review.
Hello?
Oh, hi, Jay. Hello, Jay.
What's going on, Jeff? How you doing, man?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I apologize. I thought this was starting at 12:30, and
I am never upset when an artist is late.
Are you not?
It kind of comes along with being an artist.
You know, it's times like these where I have to accept that the artist jokes, because what am I going to do?
You just got to own it.
Otherwise, I'm just a dickhead who was late. But instead, I'll take the being an artist was
on artist time.
So in my own head, yeah.
Well, it's not like you're Axl Rose back in 2003 and you would postpone or delay a concert by hours.
I grew up in Vancouver, so I am well aware of what happens when Axl Rose doesn't go on stage.
Well, there was that riot. Was that in 2020, 2002?
No, that was I feel like it was 90s something, wasn't it?
I was there. It was early 2000s, and there was
a
riot. So I wasn't at the show, but I was working at a radio station in Vancouver at the time.
You work at CFOX?
No, it was a station called XFM.
Oh yeah, XFM was great.
Yeah, of course, because I was there. I get it.
Yeah, you were killing it over
Unbelievable.
Don't forget.
Didn't know each other yet. You hadn't released a song yet.
So I'm confusing it when Vancouver's because you've been there, how culturally elite we are. We riot when Vancouver sometimes makes it to the Stanley Cup playoffs. We riot for Guns N' Roses. Only the high cultural events, we're just
Montreal and Vancouver.
Montreal, I was going to say we're the same.
It's just, it's like, hey, where are you at with rioting today? And everyone goes, we're good to go. Do we know what we're rioting about? Doesn't matter. Good to go. But Vancouver, a unique city these days, considering.
It's a very unique city. No, I'm just, you know what I'm doing right now? Just a sec. I'm texting Cone from Sum 41 because I now just have to shift things just a little bit.
I'm going to text him. I'm going to text him too.
I'm going to say hey, Cone, can we start 30 minutes at 1?
Hey, Cone, Jay is dodging me. He's a no-show. I'm going to send him this note too. This is great.
Sketch.
And then we'll have to come back
I'm glad you're recording. I'm assuming you're recording all this too. So
without question, we are good to go.
This can all go up on your IG. Cone.
Hey, running late with Jay.
Jeff.
Deal with it.
Oh. Yeah. So Cone, yeah. Fuck,
Cone. He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. I'm sure time isn't money to him, right?
Oh
He's
my
fine.
God. It's funny. I see him all the time. Like he is a guy that has taken full advantage of rock star fame because they've done all the world touring that's needed to be done. They've got all the money, and now he goes to all the shows. And he's such a super good dude.
He is.
You know,
he and Ian.
Oh yeah.
What I love, like they're two peas in a pod. And what I love about
Ian DeSaw, we got to say, of Billy Talent.
Yeah, Ian DeSaw from Billy Talent. What I love about those guys is like genuinely just love music and love bands and love going out and seeing them. Like I admire that. Because, you know, it's easy to, like, especially if you got all the money you got, but beyond that, just like when you've been touring long enough, like sometimes the last thing you want to do is be like, go to a show. Because
you're absolutely right.
They're out there all the time. It's great to see.
Well, give it a comparison. If you worked at a pizza place for decades, you don't really crave pizza that much.
No.
After a while, after a shift.
And when you do get pizza, you're going to be critiquing it so much. Like, this is how they did. They used that supplier. Of course they did.
Yeah. I can tell what freight company they're using. They're using Key Cargo. Totally. Why would they be doing that? Great. Hey, let's talk quickly. You just did a run of dates with Bedouin, and I saw that you were playing a theater in St. Catharines, which I think is shockingly nice.
So nice.
It's the... First Ontario Center.
Yeah.
It is so nice in there. I'm like, why do we not have more theaters like this today across the country? But we got a few pockets that could definitely use it for sure. But it looked really good, man.
Oh man, thanks. Yeah, it was a beautiful, like, my wife plays, like, she's a musician as well. And her experience was always playing theaters, and my experience was always just playing clubs. So I remember when we first got together, she played a show with me once, and she's like, everyone's standing up. I'm like, she's like, this is the first time I've ever played to anyone standing up. Now, like, mind you, like, Steph Cabin, she's taught, like, Natalie McMaster's kids how to step dance, and she's a really talented Celtic fiddler, plays with Barney Bentall. Anyways, so she was, like, the one who was, like, you know, telling me all about theaters. And this is the first time, like, Bedouin's kind of gotten to that legacy mode where I'm like, a lot of our fans appreciate a good seat. You know what I mean? Like, so, there's Cone. He says it's all good.
I bet you she was shocked the first time she did a club show, though, with you, because the theaters have the nicest backstage.
Oh, my God.
Compared to a club?
Built to be, like, for artists, right? So, like, and, yeah, like, we're used to, like, hey, here's a case of water, you know. There's like a storage space for you to like hang out at before. Please don't let's not talk before you play the show. Like whatever. They're like asking questions like, what time would you like dinner served? Like what would you?
Absolutely, and that's like almost all the theaters.
We absolutely loved it. And
your wife.
The theaters themselves are so good.
Your wife probably couldn't even use the bathroom at those clubs. She's like, this is a broom closet. This is not a bathroom.
Yeah.
I love it.
Stay in school, kids. See, the difference is like she's like teaches at the conservatory as well, and so there's a good testament. Go to music school. Your path might look different. Form your band in the basement of someone's house. A bunch of friends. Your path will look like ours.
You're rough and tumble. Yeah. She's just high class.
She's high class. She's way classier than me.
A Landslide of Stars. This is, I mean, we talked about this 4 months ago.
Yeah.
This has got to be excruciating for you that this album is still...
So you're talking to me. Is it excruciating for you to talk? We're talking about it again.
But I love it because it would be so painful for me. It would be crushing for me to not have this completed project out. And I know for a lot of people it's changing where they think that they can just, let's say you're an EDM DJ, you can put a song out every hour and there's a market for that.
Yeah.
But you can't do that as an artist who's releasing an album and stuff. It really messes with things. So you're ramping up kind of for it, but it's got to be some nights where it's like, is it April 21st yet? Is it?
Yeah. It's been like, I mean, and also because I've been working on the album so long. The other thing too, well, I'm kind of grateful that we pushed it back a bit too, because we ended up doing a lot of Bedouin stuff, and so I sort of was in solo mode, and then I was in band mode.
You got lots of modes.
So I'm finally back home now, and I can focus on this completely. And like, yes, the landscape has changed. I'm kind of grateful because you can put something out, and it's like a tree falls in the forest, and no one hears it. I mean, that's pretty much the world we live in right now. So,
well, it's such a challenge when there are millions of songs that are already out there that are already great. You know, I tell people all the time when they're releasing music, like new bands, new artists, people will say like, what to expect and all that stuff. I'm like, well, your competition is every song that has ever been released, every song that your parents know, every song that you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
that's a really good way of putting it.
The lens,
and also by the way, on top of that, music's free now, so no one pays for it really in their minds. So like, not only are you competing against the entire catalog of recorded music, but also good luck trying to monetize it.
Were you one of those guys who had that subscription to Columbia House?
I got roped in probably when I was 13. I think it happened to my sister, and she started. That's when like the Gin Blossom CDs started showing up at the door. You know, like there'd always like love to the Gin Blossoms, but like there were Columbia House records that you just get.
Right. Like they would send you. Yeah, they would say for 1 penny you can order. You will get 11 albums, but 3 of them are by us. Like 3 of them are selected by the record company who is pushing it out as a promo. So you're forced to take that in. But yeah, I had that, and looking back at it, awesome. Whether you paid for it or not, because I know a lot of people scammed it. They just kept on putting in new orders and things like that. But what a great way to just hear artists. When stuff was coming via the mail, a package would come and you'd be so excited to open up that CD or open up that whatever, the album that you're getting, and you would listen to it front to back.
Totally.
That is something that you have to, you know, that's a sequencing thing that you're now like, do I really worry about front to back on some albums now? Or does it just, we're going to put out four bangers and here they are.
Well, I mean, there was always that criticism of the 90s that like they realized you just needed one good song and the rest could just be total shit, and who cares? You bought it. But then in A&B Sound, I remember in Vancouver, that was the first place I remember in my city where you could go and listen to. They had listening stations, and they'd actually open up the package for you, and you could listen to the record that you were thinking of buying. And that was like revolutionary. Before, you had to just buy it because you heard the song on the radio.
Right.
They'd be like, we're not opening this. Once we've opened it, it's yours. So there was that criticism of that era. But listening now stations... I agree. I had the same thought. Like, look, it occurs, obviously, it's very obvious now that we live in that the music industry is actually just an old tech industry that didn't keep up with its tech, because that's the only reason why we have 3.5 minute songs. It's radio technology. Like, why we have albums, it's like phonographs, and like they just didn't keep up with it. So someone else created Napster and beat them to it, and so once that happened though, and especially I'd say even like with Steve Jobs with like the iPad or iPod, I remember when that came out, that was to me the first kind of where I felt kind of depressed, because to your point, when you would buy an album when you were young, I would know who they thanked. I would like know who like Pearl Jam's friends were, I think, on the record. You'd be like, oh, they thanked, I wonder who that guy is. Like, right. That's the level of detail. You would read Vitalogy or like the Smashing Pumpkins, like Siamese Dream or something like that. You get one of those records from that era, and like when the iPod came out, it was like, hey, we both are reading War and Peace, but I hated chapter 3, chapter 14, chapter 25. I actually just didn't read any of that section. So like at that point, we were no longer talking. It was the first sort of knock in music where you're like, we're no longer talking about the same stuff anymore. It is all about you and your experience and what you want, and not at all about what's curated or presented by the artist. So,
well, you're 100% correct. And there's something though that is also unique now, because look, it was 20 years ago, I think, like this week, that you won your first Juno.
Holy. Yeah.
Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Is it 2020? Yeah, it's 20. Is it 2026? You're right.
It still is.
Yeah.
20 years ago. But so you're going to go out and you're going to tour these albums.
I should say something about that. Thank you for reminding me, Jeff. That's great. Thank you.
I'm just a wealth of knowledge when it comes to, I'm a stalker.
Track.
Is what it is. It's
yeah.
But I'll say that I've seen a lot of these bands tour their albums and say it's the 25th anniversary. We're going to play it front to back.
Yeah.
There's been a few of those where I've been like, didn't need to play it front to back. Probably could have sequenced it a little bit better for your live set. You also wrote 13 bangers since that album, so maybe we shouldn't give total praise to that particular one. But I just saw one recently. I was like, whoa, it was like 2 different sets. They played their first album and everyone was just sitting on their hands. Then they went into like a 7-song encore. And it's like the whole room became alive.
Yeah, totally. The question I ask always with that is like, we did that. We didn't do what you just described, but we did a 20th anniversary last year, I guess, of Sounding Mosaic that we won a Juno for in 2006. And we had a conversation. I said, look, we're going to play all the songs off the record, but we're not playing back to front for your own benefit, for the sake of like watching us on stage and enjoying ourselves. Like, it wasn't set. I don't know what there are very, look, it's rare air for the bands that have created an album where you want to see that, you know?
Also, that's your debut. Like, that was your intro, or the people's intro to Bedouin Soundclash. Yeah. So it was sequenced in a different fashion. You hadn't,
for sure. Oh, actually, that's really good. The first song, if we played Sounding Mosaic front to back, the first song we would play would be When That I Feels My Song.
Right. The song that you close out every night.
The rest of that 58 minutes. Actually, now that I think of it, this might have been an interesting way to start the show.
Yeah, it's a reverse. You just play the song, good night, it's over.
Yeah, see you guys. Yeah.
Under a Landslide of Stars, coming out in just a few weeks' time, and there's tour dates that are coming with it as well. Playing Montreal, playing Toronto, Victoria, a local show. They're all kind of local shows, though, for you, because you're...
Well, I'm going to do an extensive cross-Canada tour in the fall.
When is that? Hasn't been announced yet, has it?
No, we're gonna wait till after the.
And will this be Jay solo for the first run? Like, is it Jay Malinowski, just you and acoustic?
Yeah, I'll have like my guitars and stuff. I'll have a guitar. Yeah, no, I probably won't even bring a piano. I'll just do it all on guitar.
Right. But it's going to be awesome because you're playing some real cool rooms and some legacy rooms along the way, which is a nice way to start. And then you take a quick break and it's back out doing Bedouin stuff in a place where Bedouin flourishes, up and down the coast of California.
Yeah.
It's like Bedouin Soundclash was born in California without Jay and Eon even knowing it.
I would say that like here's the thing. I'll say this about Bedouin. We're so from Toronto, and that's reflects where Eon and I met. And if it wasn't for Toronto, I don't think the band would exist. You know, like if in the way it does. And if we're going to talk about places, right?
What about if it wasn't for college?
Yeah,
Bedouin
if it wasn't for
Soundclash
college.
wouldn't exist.
But why I say Toronto, if it wasn't for college, sure. If it wasn't for our mothers, we would never have met. Actually, that's true too, because our moms met before we did, and my mom like met Eon's mom. I was like, hey, I think you should meet this guy Eon. He lives across the hallway from you. You guys will be good friends. They called it the mother sense, for better or for worse.
That's
so.
awesome.
But in terms of places, like, you know, the Eon being from, like, you know, his family immigrating out from Guyana to Toronto, as so many families did in the 70s, in the Windrush, where like in the same thing that happened in the UK, where like this incredible amount of music was born, like from the Specials and the Clash and just that exchange. And I think so there's that I always related to more in Vancouver was the sort of English two-tone movement. And when so Toronto, we always felt like was a place that should have the reflection of that communication between groups, and there has been such a great history of artists that have taken music and I think made it very Canadian, like whether it's Cardinal or Chaos, Mishi Me, and so on. So like
Well, to that point,
so there's that. But yes, to your point, and this is where I think actually we're leading with the next Bedouin stuff, is that Eon would always say, when I go back to the West Coast, when I get back to the Pacific Ocean, that's where I would like start writing again. You know, like so we would go. We wrote like 3 of these records up in Nanaimo, on Vancouver Island, and to me, being on the ocean and the Pacific is actually where my soul is in terms of musically too. And like we live like 10 blocks from the ocean here, and it's like grounding, and that's definitely where I feel our music existing in a more kind of Pacific Northwest pensive way, less SoCal, but definitely the Pacific Ocean, the Pacific side is like where I feel most at home. So
with you being so nautical, it's amazing that you're not a fisherman.
yeah, well, yeah, you know, it's funny actually you say that. So many of my friends are, and I'm not. I love being on the water, but no, it's never been my thing.
Never been your thing.
I have a friend that's like all they do is like fly fishing, and they love it. Tuna fishing.
Look, I lived in Vancouver, as I said, and there was a creek. It was like a ditch that was by my place.
Yeah. Okay.
And salmon would run up this thing.
Yeah.
Like it was a ditch that was in a neighborhood in front of someone's house, and salmon would be running up. You could just reach down and pull out a gigantic fish. So I get why people would go fishing. It's plentiful. It's right there.
Yeah.
Listen,
You should. I love this. You fished out of a ditch. You know what? It's like, did you feel peace when you were doing it? Like, what was the feeling you got out of that?
did I feel peace when I'm doing it? No,
You
it was,
peace?
it was
Well, like this is what I always
granted.
ask people. You know, you do things because you get something from it, and you know, when you were fishing out of that ditch, I don't know. Maybe you're just really hungry, but
No, it's more of, you know how maybe you're not like this, but I'm always finding a game in something. There's like, I wonder if I can do this. I wonder if I can do that. I mean,
yeah,
the whole internet thing and the movie thing with Jackass is all about, hey, watch this. And I think a lot of kids, especially males, grew up that way. Hey, watch this. And you're jumping off the house into the pool or whatever. It's like, there's a fish there. Wonder if I can catch it with my bare hand. Now, I didn't do anything.
yeah. Okay,
I just reached into the ditch and tried to catch a fish. And then I was like, well, this is kind of stupid. And I went on my way.
Yeah.
But here we are talking about it today. So I guess it was worth it.
Yeah. You made it.
Cone is texting. He says, what the fuck? Just because you have way more listeners doesn't mean you can treat me like this. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate it now that I've offloaded this onto you. So
it really has.
It wasn't my fault.
It really has turned back towards me, and I don't like that. Yeah. Under a Landslide of Stars, the new album from Jay Malinowski. We're going to go see you on the road April 21, 22, I think 25, Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, Victoria. So come out if you're in any of those cities. It's going to be a great show. I'm so looking forward to getting this music out. That's actually one of the things that I decided like maybe 3 or 4 months ago with this record. I have like another full album of solo songs, and I always have tons of songs floating. Like there's the Bedouin songs. There's almost a full record there, and like I was like, you know what? In these times, to your point, like yes, there's a lot of music out there, but it's also an opportunity to like just put stuff out direct to fans, and especially when everything is AI, like you're just like, hey, this is human, and it's almost like going back to where the feeling I have with it is almost like in recording is almost like going back to when I was 18, and it's like it sounds good enough, like put it out. And sure enough, it always was. Like When the Night, we spent absolutely nothing on it. It was just all heart and soul. And I think that because everything's so AI and people are so perfect with everything they do now, that it actually makes a difference to show that you're human and to like just put it out. So
I imagine
producers. That's the epic right now.
I think there's producers out there who are probably saying, no, you got to be more raw.
Oh yeah, the only thing that, yeah, exactly. I think you're right. Because look, we can all make everything perfect now. It's not that hard. It used to be hard.
And there's only about 100,000 songs being uploaded to digital service providers a day that are made by AI alone. Just 100,000.
Is that it? I thought you were about to do some more depressing figures as I'm talking about releasing this album, which I appreciate.
Well, that's why they still need champions of music that are on the stage and the people to talk to the artists and to have the fans to make sure that they get out and go check it out live.
Yeah.
Jay, go talk to Cone. Send him my love.
Yeah.
And we'll see you real soon under a landslide of stars. Jay Malinowski, thanks for doing this, bud. We'll see you again.
Thank you, man. See you in Toronto.
Now forget everything that you thought you knew from the shadow